Hello, my wonderful friends. Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Figure Reviews with Slade. Of course, I'm Slade Berlin. And today, I have another sweet figure review for you all. Now, this figure is very special because this is another Star Wars Rebels figure. But you already probably knew that from the title of the video. But here, today, we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch Hera Syndulla figure. Now, of course, this is the third member of the Ghost Crew that has been made into action figure form from the Star Wars show on XD, Star Wars Rebels. But I wanted to get this figure ever since I saw it unveiled at Comic-Con, and now that I finally have it, well, not finally, I've had it for a while, I just never got the chance to review it. Now that I have the chance to review it for you all, I figured why not? Again, apologies for the lack of box. I misplaced the box in this figure, but like I mentioned before, the box is not really that much important. What's important is the actual figure. Now, of course, you already guys know I always do my accessories first. But with Hera, she does not really come with that many accessories. But the one accessory she does come with is her small little blaster pistol. As you can see here, very nice detailing on this blaster pistol. Unlike the other Black Series variant rifles and whatnot that just have the single color, this one actually comes in a large assortment of customizations in terms of paint applications. You can see there's various touches of silver paint in there, mixed over with a nice darker silver paint for the top here of the blaster, and the nice little bronze detailing of the actual pistol. I mean, I kind of think it's bronze. It might be like a I think it's like a copper type of color. But honestly, aside from the paint, an amazing sculpt on the blaster, which is I mean, it's basically just a nice blaster overall. Like, she uses it a lot in the show. It's a very unusual blaster, but like in Star Wars Rebels, most of their weapons are sort of unusual. Kind of looks like a stapler to me. Almost, I don't know how. But yeah, that's pretty much the blaster. So like I said, that's the only accessory she comes with. I know, it's kind of sad. I kind of wish that she came with more accessories and the like, but I mean, it's basically what you get. That's all really she uses in the show as her weapons. But enough of accessories. You all want to see the figure itself. Now, of course, bringing it close, I feel like that Hasbro did an absolutely amazing job with bringing Hera to life on the Black Series scale, to be honest. As you can see, it's amazing to me that they basically had to take a character that's animated and sculpt them to the point where they actually would look like if they were in a live action movie. And honestly, Hera is my first Twi'lek figure I have. I don't think they actually made any more Twi'leks for Black Series figures. I know people who are making them themselves, but this was actually, I believe, the first Twi'lek that Black Series has made in the 6-inch. If I'm wrong, drop in the comments below of what other figures that utilize Twi'leks. But getting into the face sculpt, it's amazing, honestly, to say the least. I mean, I don't know, I mentioned that most of my Black Series figures have amazing sculpts, while some have like poor sculpts. But honestly, when I saw this figure on the Comic-Con, it looked amazing, and holding it in hand, it's even more amazing than I could have imagined. Beautiful texture on the face, nice green paint, and beautiful applications of paint on the figure. Nice, very crisp, very clean paint. No paint splotches anywhere, no paint outside the lines. The paint on this figure is just precise and it's crisp and it's just straight and everything, especially in her eyebrows. As you can see here, her eyebrows are probably my favorite because the way my figure has they drew on her eyebrows perfectly. There's no black paint oozing off the side. There's no mismatched eyebrows, no crooked eyebrows. It's just straight and crisp. Same with her eyes. Her eyes are probably my favorite. They managed to get her pupils drawn on right. I think I mentioned in my one Ray figure video that her eyes were like cross-eyed, almost like one eye was going to the other side and one eye was going to the other. But with this figure, her eyes are drawn on absolutely perfect. They have a very serious expression to them. It's straightforward. Same with her lipstick. There is no trace of lipstick coloring on the on the outside of her lips anywhere. And it's just like, I'm honestly blown away with this figure. Honestly, because I did, like when I first saw this figure, it was on my Instagram. I saw many people posting pictures of it that I guess they are at Comic-Con, and I saw this figure, but it was my first time holding it in hand. But honestly, it's just like, wow, when you get this figure, honestly, I recommend you get this figure. Of course, nice detailing, beautiful detailing on her goggles. Her goggles are made out of a soft rubber. The only small, tiny gripe I have with this figure is I kind of wish that her goggles actually went down over her eyes. As you can see here, they don't. They're basically just on her forehead, stuck like that. But if you can zoom, if I can show you, what's cool about her goggles is that they actually added clear plastic up there. As you can see, her eye sort of peeks out through there. It's clear plastic for her goggles. They did not have to do that, but Hasbro went ahead and did it, honestly. Like I said, I wish that her goggles went down over her eyes, but they don't. They just make it so it looks like it does. Beautiful detailing on the head piece here. Nice folds in there, wrinkles, nice cloth detail. Nice detailing on her. What is this called? I believe it's called Liku. I'm probably butchering the word, but her Liku, as per se, amazingly sculpted. They're also made of a very flexible, soft plastic that bend. Nice paint applications on here. Nice detailing of her like tattoos or whatever she has on there. Moving down to her actual suit wise. Beautiful sculpting in her suit. Nice detailing of like creases and folds and whatnot in her clothes to make it simulate this rubber clothes or leather. Of course, shoulder pads are made of a soft rubbery plastic, same as this piece right here, her waist piece, I believe. Nice detailing on her orange jumpsuit pants. These pants do look similar to Luke Skywalker, the X-Wing variant pilot figure's legs. I don't have that figure, although I wish I did because I wanted to do a review on it, but it looks very similar to his type of pants. I mean, I guess they're typical pilot pants per se. Nice detailing on her boots. And what's actually kind of funny is, unlike most figures where the holster was actually on their waist, Hera's holder is in fact on her foot, I believe, or on her actual leg. On her right leg, I believe, is where her holster for her gun is. And per sec, I mentioned before, her gun does actually fit in there. I don't really remember if Hera actually put her gun in that holster. She probably did. I probably saw her do it once or twice in the show and then forgot about it. But nice detailing on these like straps on her leg. Nice, really flexible rubber type plastic on her. Beautiful sculpt on the gloves. So she does wear gloves, and detailing on the boots. Of course, there are no sculpted insoles. It's just the manufacturer's information on the bottom of her feet. Nice back review of the figure. I gotta say, the green plastic they used for this figure is beautiful. Like, It's very Hera-istic. In a way, it's just amazing. I just like this plastic. It's very green, very crisp. It's not too light, it's not too dark. It's just right. But of course, you already know what I'm planning on doing now is getting into the articulation. Of course, as mentioned before, Hera's articulation is the standard Black Series articulation, though it is kind of limited in the head-wise because of these head tails or IQ that she has. So her head does go, well, never mind, her head actually, oh wow. I kind of thought that it would be hindered because of these, but it's not really hindered at all, actually. As mentioned before, her head does in fact rotate 360 degrees, even with her Laiku. Her head can go down that far, and it can go back up as such, which is really not that far in my opinion. I wish it was a little farther, but I can kind of see why because of these. And the collar right here. Her arm goes out that much, it's hindered by the shoulder pad here, and it also has the 360 degree movement at the shoulder. Her elbow is not double jointed, so it does have just a joint here. It's really bendable joint, to be honest. It makes it look like it's double jointed, but it's not. Then it has rotation 360 degrees at the elbow. Her wrist does go. Can her wrist? Oh wow, look at this. Her wrist does go as the wrist pivot, but it goes sideways instead of downwards, as you might know. It's like, you know how figures go up and down like that. Her actual joint here goes side to side like that. I think I remember that one of my Rey figures has that same type of joint in her wrist. I think it's my Island Journey figure I did a review on. Yeah, it's probably that. Most of the Rey figures nowadays have that joint that goes sideways instead of up and down. Of course, their other joint does go up and down. It's very tight. I'm not going to try and force that because I don't want to break off the hand. And of course, she does rotate 360 degrees at the wrist. She does not. Well, she has she does have an ab crunch. It's not much, but it is there. She can go down that far and back up as such. And she does have a nice rotation at the actual stomach, I believe. It's not at the waist. Her waist is right here, and it's not at her chest either. So basically at her stomach, she just has a nice 360 degree motion for her stomach. Her leg can go about that far, which is actually fairly decent for a Black Series figure in terms of the sculpt. Go out that far, can go back that much, which is not much, and it can go out that far, so you can have it in a nice sitting pose. It was kind of weird. I don't know if it's me or my eyes are playing tricks on me, but her joint to me is kind of a little lower than what you would think, honestly, because personally I feel like her joint should really be up here, but for some reason they moved it all the way down here, so she has a lot of this leg room, or a lot of this open leg here, and then her joint here, and then a tiny bit to her foot. I mean, of course, I'm not really complaining as much. It's Hera, but that's just my little tiny thing. I just figured that it's kind of odd that they sculpted her knee joints down there, or really low compared to how the other figures were. Like, they're somewhat in the middle, like around here, but for her, they sculpted them at the lower leg. But the joints are double jointed. That much is true. They do bend they do double joint bend that much, which is really good for the figure. Double jointed as mentioned. And then she does have the ankle rocker pivot. Her leg can go down that much, which is really good. And it can go, of course, with 360 degrees at the ankle, and it can go up and down as such, up that far, which is really good, and down amazingly. So you can get her into some really good poses if you wanted, if you really were creative and if you really were trying, to be honest. Of course, side by size comparison, here is her next to my Black Series 6-inch Sabine figure that I did a review on before. The two are actually, I mean, honestly, see if I can. Two are fairly about the same height. I feel like that Hera is maybe an inch taller slightly because of her goggles. They go up slightly a bit above Sabine's figure, or Sabine's head almost. I feel like if you ever had a helmet on and with the little antenna pointed upwards, she might be a little taller. But to be honest, Kanan, he basically towers over them both dramatically. Well, not dramatically. As you can see there, Hera, all three of these figures are standing on their feet. They're not leaning, they're not posing, they're not tipping over, they're not doing anything. They're basically they're on their straight feet. They are straight. They are perfectly aligned. And as you can see, Sabine and Hera are almost the same height, like an inch off or half inch off, while Kanan is like a really big inch off. As you can see, both of their heads go to his shoulder. But also, I can show you that I have 3 of the Rebel figures so far. Now, that pretty much covers everything for Hera Syndulla. I do plan on collecting more of the Rebels figures. Like, I do plan on completing the actual Ghost Crew. Like I mentioned, I already went over Thrawn, so I don't need to go over Thrawn again. He was from Rebels as well. But in terms of the Ghost Crew, I have 3 of them so far. And so far, I believe I only need 2 left. No, 3 left. Scratch that. 3 left. Which would be Chopper, which I did see that they were doing a release for him as well. And Ezra Bridger, which I am looking forward to collecting myself, because Ezra was my favorite character in the show. And Zeb Aurelius, which was the Lassault. I do plan on collecting those 3 and hopefully completing the Ghost Crew. Like I mentioned, I already have Sabine, Hera, and Kanan. But I do plan on collecting Chopper, Ezra, and Zeb so that I can complete my Ghost Crew. Because I think that's what every collector who watches Rebels wants to do with these figures. They want to have the complete set with the whole character, with all the characters and whatnot. Which, speaking of which, for my Sabine figure, I might buy another one and maybe customize it just to have a look like how she looked in the later on seasons, how her hair was like a different shade of color. Because this was season 1 Sabine. All these Rebels figures are basically from season 1. I kind of wish that Hasbro would release the different variations in the seasons with these figures, but honestly, we should be all thankful that we're just getting these Rebels figures in turn. Because I know to some Rebels wasn't really that popular, but to Star Wars fanatics like me, anything with Star Wars in it, no matter how bad you may think it is, I still want to collect it in figure form. So, honestly, that pretty much covers my review. Of course, I'm going to give Hera Syndulla a solid double 10 out of 10 because with her next to my Rey Island Journey figure, those figures are probably the only ones in my collection that have the best sculpt. Because I know for Rey, her face was actually digitally sculpted on there. It wasn't hand sculpted. I think they used the blueprint from the actual actor's stage release face. But honestly, with Hera, she comes really close to that type of precision and design in her actual facial sculpt. Excuse the noise, that's my roommate. And the noise. But, as I said before, I rate this figure a really good double 10 out of 10 because of her overall articulation and her overall paint apps, which are amazing to me. But, yeah. That was pretty much my review. So basically now I have 3 of the Rebels Ghost Crew, so now I only need 3 left to complete the set. So that is pretty much my review. And if you all enjoyed this review, which I surely hope you did, of course you all can hit that like button and of course subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more of these figure reviews for Star Wars and possibly some other figure reviews as well. But yeah, that was pretty much my review, and have a nice day.